was sent out for free as a review unit. Like and subscribe, enjoy the video. Yo, what's good YouTube? It's boardzy, and this is going to be a review of the Lethal Gaming Gear Jupiter. And I've said it before, I find mousepad reviews to be generally boring, but this is a very unique mousepad. It's not a mousepad that's trying to be the best of both worlds. It's not an oversaturated Hien clone. This mousepad is fucking slow. It is the slowest mousepad I have ever used. And that is generally not the type of mousepad I like. I prefer textured, faster surfaces, so a completely smoothed out extreme control pad, it took me a while to adjust to. I have been using this mousepad for multiple weeks, and you can just see from these glide tests, there is an extreme amount of stopping power. And I'll talk about how the mousepad affected my performance later, because it is really unique being on the extreme end, but I've already talked about this mousepad 4 months ago when it was just a sample, but then the manufacturer and Lethal Gaming Gear decided to go ahead and make this one of the mousepads. So that is the backstory, and the surface itself, I'm sure you've seen this umbrella. It is made out of a melted umbrella fabric, so I'm not sure if that really gives it any distinct like qualities aside from being sort of water resistant. Let me show you. Pouring some water, and it doesn't just soak right into the surface. That was honestly more water than I needed to prove the point. The Jupiter's also resistant to humidity. There's no noticeable differences in surface consistency, but it definitely does get a bit faster if it's colder in your room. So it is slightly affected by temperature, but the fact it isn't affected by humidity, there's not many mousepads that are super slow that aren't. The most popular one, of course, is the GSR, and that is massively affected by humidity. And I think if you're a GSR user, this is just a mousepad to try. For most normal people, especially if you're playing a tracking heavy game, this will be too slow, or at the very least far out of your comfort zone, unless you're already used to super high friction tracking. This mousepad has extremely high initial friction and dynamic friction. I noticed that Tiger Ice feet perform the best on this mousepad. Without a doubt. With core pads, it just feels like the initial friction is too high. Core pads are better on textured pads, but if it's a smoothed out surface like this, I would recommend Tiger Ice. And along with some high quality mouse feet, I would also recommend using a lightweight mouse on a mousepad like this, because the G502, it is not going anywhere. I tried to use this even with high sensitivity. It just felt impossible. You can see a close-up of the surface. It's like shiny. This mousepad is not coated. It's very smooth to the touch. If you move your arm vertically, there's really no resistance because this isn't a textured surface. It's extremely smooth. But the glide of the mouse itself, man, it is just, this mousepad does not want you to move the mouse. It is impressive that a surface can even be this slow. Like, it's designed to be this slow. It's kind of bizarre. Like I said before, it's easily the slowest mousepad I've used. Let me compare it to something like a G640. God, like a fucking NASCAR pit crew. But yeah, you can see the glide of the G640, and this is by no means a speed pad. This is an average control pad. I'm sure people are like, ooh, I want a super slow mouse pad, and I mean, I encourage you to try it. See if you really want something that slow. Even though I raised my sensitivity to accommodate for the speed of this mousepad, my aim still felt more stable, especially my flicks. They felt a lot more like straight-lined and less wobbly, but tracking on this mousepad, I feel like I immediately switch off of it and it's a more liberated experience. Even on something like a G640 and Artisan Zero, the tracking experience is, in my opinion, just a lot more seamless. I don't like just moving my mouse against increasingly more resistance. And another thing to mention with tracking is that when you put more pressure onto the mouse pad, let's say you palm grip, or really just any scenario where you're putting lots of pressure, the mouse pad will slow down even more. And I'll do a lighter test right now because it's not even like one of the most squishiest surfaces I've used. It's somewhere between Artisan, mid, and soft. I'll do a super light patented press down test. But if you're putting in pressure, this mouse pad will slow down even more. and it's just a crazy glide. It's like you're swiping it through mud, you know, a mud pad. Holy shit, who came up with that? And the quality of the Jupiter is very solid all around. My pad is perfectly flat. It took like 30 minutes to an hour for it to lie flat. The rubber backing isn't like Artisan level where you have to peel it off of your desk, obviously, but it doesn't move around whatsoever in real use, so that's really all you can ask for. And these stitched edges are incredible. They're very close to being flush with the surface, and this is the best non-Artisan stitching. Like I said before, no issues like when you move your arm vertically. And overall, I can't give this mousepad the seal of approval because, like I said before, for most people who aren't used to a GSR or already sub-super controlled mousepad, it's just going to be out of your comfort zone and not really something I can recommend. If you think you want a mousepad that has an extreme amount of stopping power, then it is worth considering, but there is a chance that it'll just be too slow for you and you will hate it. Like, I could not imagine using this with 70 cm per 360, so I don't even know. No seal of approval. Overall, a really unique pad, melted umbrella fabric, so inspirational. And that's going to be all for the review of the Lethal Gaming Gear Jupiter, and really, nothing compares in terms of lack of speed on a mousepad. The pricing is, of course, $30 for the size. You saw $50 for an XXL and $60 for a triple XL, which could very well replace an umbrella, just like put a stick on it. I don't know. But yeah, that's all. Like and sub if you enjoyed. Peace.